I'm glad that, yeah, I don't know. I'm glad that me and Miles doing weird stuff has gotten a good response.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know, I'd feel bad if we kept going on your channel and just, like, upsetting
people.
people.
Like, oh my god, just get to the stuff.
Oh my god, why are you here? I want to know about the floor attacks. Get these assholes off our screen. Hey Zenora, how's it going?
Oh,
Hey,
I guess that's
He's spending my whole day on this channel. We're not going to go terribly long today because I have to do the D&D stream tonight. So we'll probably go for like an hour, maybe? Something like that.
I have a new camera. I'm gonna see how well the motion works. If I'm not so choppy anymore.
It's coming through fine on my end.
It looks good on mine too. I'm just not used to looking at a camera. I keep looking back at my computer screen.
Yeah, I hear you. Pizza looks fine for me. That's good. Yeah, he's actually got like a good webcam now. So, hi, Sally. You need attention right now? I know I've been gone. I just got done streaming for 4 hours at Miles' place. Ugh. Show McSqueezy, hello and welcome to Lord Jackal Explain Discuss. God damn it. Is that like a Game Explain thing?
Yeah, instead of Game Explain, it's Lord Jackal Explain.
Good. Good. Now what you need to get is a ring light for the front. So that you're lit from the front.
A ring light? Oh, okay, wait a minute.
What are you doing?
Oh, that was the wrong one.
It's not quite the same thing. It's not. What is that?
A flashlight?
It's not the same thing.
Okay, how's this?
Here, so for instance, that's
I've
me
never
without
heard
a ring
of
light.
Before.
That's me with the ring
I'm
light.
just.
They're very
I
cheap.
can't see
I'll talk
it.
to you.
Turned your camera off
I'll talk to you about it
me.
afterwards. Oh, you can see on the stream soon.
All right.
Has Chris been growing out his facial hair? It looks nice. Thank you. I have been. I've been experimenting with it. It's a little bit trimmed right now because I had an audition where I needed to look a bit. I needed to look more, you know. The layout setup makes it look like it does. This is Let's Playing Pizza Dude Man. Yeah. Don't worry.
Oh, did you have me as the giant screen?
I have you as the giant screen.
Why?
Yeah. Hi, I'm doing a playthrough of Pizza Dude Man right now. We're playing through to 100% completion. Agree. Oh, hi. Thank you. I'm glad you also like it. Cool. I think we're about ready to go. This music might be getting a little too loud. Let me turn it down a bit. I'm still trying to have music underneath this. There we go. That should be alright. Yeah, so the only thing we've really got to talk about today is character number 5. There's only one character left. And hey Bobby, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. You're just waving and stuff? You're agreeing about the layout? Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to assume. So the only thing really left to talk about is there's only one character left in the DLC pass. And it's even pretty likely that... Oh, you know what? I haven't really done... Hey everybody, welcome back to the new episode of Smashtalk. It won't be the last one because there's guaranteed more DLC coming after this first pass. But this is probably going to be the last one of the DLC pass. Unless we do like a wrap-up afterwards. I'm Chris, and with me I have Pizzadudemanguy, whatever you want to go by. I have my cat sitting on my lap because she desperately needed attention as soon as we went live. And since this is a Smashtalk Live, basically feel free to ask questions at any point. And we'll try to address them. If we're in the middle of a topic, we might wait until after it's over. So if we don't answer right away, don't think that we're trying to ignore you or anything. We're just trying to finish our thoughts before moving on to the next one, basically. Tomorrow, this whole discourse most likely comes to an end. It's possible. There'll still be a discussion when they reveal the character. It's funny how much we are really... like everybody is like really expecting this last character to come tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Some people are still, you know, of course, curbing expectations, being skeptic, being cautious, but a lot of us are thinking it.
It's you know, it's the anniversary of where they revealed the first character, Joker, and it feels like this is also the first time that we have not known what the next character is going to be. You know, they've been after Joker. Didn't they, Wait, no. Did we have a break between when Joker came out and when we knew about... We did, because there was E3, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so never mind. It's interesting, because it took so long for Joker to happen and then to find out about the next two characters that I was worried that we weren't going to get them all by February. And then...
Oh, right.
And then those middle three came so fast.
They pumped out quick.
Like, after Terry, it's like, oh, now we have 4 months to, like, learn about and actually get the last character.
Yeah.
I think something will come out tomorrow, Smash or not, I don't know. One of the other big things people are expecting, and this is a bit off topic, but a lot of people are expecting a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, which I'm really excited about.
That'd be cool.
A trailer for the next Zelda. I would love for that to happen. that thing is one of the things I'm most looking forward to. It'd also be cool to see some more Animal Crossing, but this isn't a Nintendo event, so I don't want to get my hopes up too much. But as far as like Nintendo-related news, I think Animal Crossing and Zelda are the most likely outside of Smash. I'm betting it'll be revealed tomorrow, but not be shadow dropped due to the Retro Spirit event. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get it right away.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually don't get the character until February, or January. But
right, well, January, February, yeah.
Yeah, because they said it would be done in February 2020. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't actually get the character until then. But I'm definitely expecting us to find out tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking that they're either gonna show off the character tomorrow, or they're gonna do something like they did at what's that event called? The big annual fighting game tournament.
Oh, Evo?
Evo. There was one year on Evo where they didn't show off a character, but they were like, hey, tune in this day for a Smash Direct. So I think we're gonna get either one of those. Either a character reveal or just an announcement of, hey, here's the Smash Direct next week, if there's like a lot of details they want to discuss. I'm just not sure which route they would take on it. It depends on, how much information there is. Because if there's a whole lot of stuff they want to talk about, they're probably not going to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I would be amazed if we didn't hear anything about Smash tomorrow. Because that was one of the most talked about things from TGA last year, so TGA is going to want that to happen again. And it's also...
And also, it's on the nominations.
Yeah, also it's on the nominations. Also, it's one of the biggest platforms that Nintendo could have to reveal a character. So it's a huge chance to like bring in people that they still somehow haven't convinced to get the game that would still actually get it. So just all signs point towards there being a reveal tomorrow. And so then the big question has been, who is it going to be? And that's been really weird from the speculation standpoint.
Oh boy,
if you want to cover what's been happening with the whole leak situation.
Oh man. Okay, first.
Don't worry, nothing's confirmed. This is not going to be ruined for you. That's the whole point of this.
But like, I might miss some details because I've been kind of offline these last few days. But this has been going on for weeks, so I can still cover the basic gist, right? Even though I like being surprised, I don't shy away from looking at leaks and stuff. I obviously I got pretty involved in that myself, and just during regular Smash Ultimate stuff leading up to the base game release. But I like to be informed of that kind of stuff, so I'll look at leaks and follow those and stuff. So what's been going on there, for those of you who don't know, is trusted sources apparently know already who the fifth character is, which is what makes me really believe that they're going to show it off tomorrow or soon, so that they'll avoid a leak later on. The problem is apparently it's not widespread right now. There's a very few amount of people who know who character number 5 is, and because of that, the sources are unwilling to share who character number 5 is, because any of them would out themselves way too easily if they gave it away, just because there's so few people who know. So even though they can't say directly who it is, they're like, okay, here's the compromise I can do. What I can do is, if there are any other really prominent Smash rumors, I can confirm if they are true or false. The logic there being that that means someone else has leaked it, so they're not as much of at risk because they can be like, oh, someone else already leaked it. So there were some, really popular rumors at the time of certain characters, which I won't name names right now, just so anything is not spoiled. But there were some really prominent rumors at the time that basically all got debunked by this source, because he was like, yeah, that one's not real, that one's not real, that one's not real. And then basically after the dust cleared a little bit there, my belief, this is just my own speculation, I've gone over it on Twitter, my belief then is that people took it upon themselves to start making up more Smash rumors so that they could keep trying, that they could keep being like, but what about this character? Is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the one? And I can't prove that, but we suddenly started seeing more rumors for characters that had never been talked about before. So I'm pretty sure that's what was happening. And so the source was like, no, it's not that one. No, it's not that one. And I think eventually they got fed up, because I think they started thinking that too, that people were just starting to make stuff up. And he's like, okay, this is getting too risky for me. I can't keep playing this game. So I think what happened then is a few other sources, I think they found this amusing and decided to join in too, and just start, and kind of picked up from where the other guy left off, and we're just like, yeah, and it's not this, and it's not this, and it's not this, not saying who it is, but saying who it's not. So a few more sources were being open about that, about who it's not. And it all kind of came to a boil, I guess, a few days ago when Vergiben, I'll say, basically had this gigantic list of like, it's not anybody from any of these, and it was just like, what's left even? And then as it turned out, that was a miscommunication. Vergiben misinterpreted the message that he had been sent, and so now more stuff is back on the table. There's like one rumor right now that's a little more prominent, just because it doesn't contradict with anything that's been supposedly ruled out, but it's been so back and forth, and so many names and companies have been thrown around everywhere that it's still kind of a mess.
Yeah. So basically, we saw characters like Cosmos being brought up.
That's the big rumored one right now.
Really?
Yes.
That'd be so weird. I'm skeptical about it for two reasons. The first is that Cosmos is not a particularly Nintendo-related character. The closest thing is having Xenoblade on, and Cosmos has a kind of cool cameo thing in Xenoblade 2.
And then there's also, and Project Crossroad as well, but I mean, a lot of characters are in that.
Yeah. It's also not a particularly well-known character either. The other reason I'm skeptical is that I absolutely love Xenosaga, and I'm not used to getting characters that I want. So, outside of that, Cosmos would be weird. I'd be into it. I'd be incredibly pleased. That would make me insanely happy. The Xeno games, like pretty much every Xeno game, is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I wouldn't call her like a top choice of mine, but I think she's interesting enough that I would be into it. And
she would be incredibly fun to play as. She'd be incredibly unique. And she's probably the best rep for that series if it's done.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I would choose her over somebody from like Xenogears, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I would be completely on board with it. I don't think it's likely, but if that ends up being the case, I'm gonna lose my mind.
It seems so random to me, but when you look at like the other things that have been supposedly deconfirmed, I mean, there's not a lot. Like anything feels like it's gonna be weird at this point, anyway.
Yeah, I think we can rule out stuff like the Prince, but didn't the Prince also get? I don't even know.
I don't remember. I could look up like the full list of everything that's been deconfirmed, because I have not been able to commit it to memory.
Yeah, so Mactacon just brought up an interesting point, or at least one that gets brought up a lot. He says she'd be so fun. Not sure she'd get much applause from the TGA audience, but whatever, she's cool. There's been a lot of discussion over whether, like, it's got to be a character on a certain scale of recognizability or appeal to a Western audience or whatever. But I don't... I think that's overselling Joker?
I think it's also... Well, I think it's overselling Joker. I think it's overselling Terry, you know. Different characters are going to have different amounts of known and unknown in different parts.
Well, what they're saying is, like, with TGA specifically, they need, like, a big worldwide character. And they're saying that Joker... And they're saying that Joker was that, and I don't agree.
Well, the other thing, too, to keep in mind there is... I can't remember who it was that brought this up to me. That, you know, it's not necessarily intentional that they saved the reveal for Fighter 5 for TGA. It just happened to work out timing-wise.
Yeah.
You know, it could be that, you know, this is what I would speculate anyway, that they decided on the 5 DLC characters all at the same time. They're like, okay, these are our 5 DLC characters. And then as they're revealing them, it just so happens that the reveal for number 5 lines up with TGA by coincidence.
They did not...
My guess, and this is just a guess on my part, is that they probably originally planned on revealing Character 5 after Terry released. And then they're like, oh wait, TGA is soon. Why don't we just wait for that?
It went well the first time.
Guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that's the main thing is, like, they didn't pick these characters based on when they're going to reveal them. You know? Like, right. they picked these characters, and then the reveals came afterwards, but the character choices weren't driven by when they were going to be showing them off. So if the 5th character isn't somebody that would be a big Western character that would excite a worldwide audience or whatever, they're not going to not do TGA because of that. Because the thing is, like, a Smash reveal, Smash is one of the biggest franchises around anymore.
It's big enough on its own that you can just reveal a character for Smash Brothers, and that's a big deal, I think.
Like, I'm not saying it has to be a small character, but I'm saying it doesn't have to be a huge character either.
It can be pretty much anything.
Yeah. As far as, like, what they could be. So, early on, like, one of the initial leaks that got disconfirmed was Doomguy, yeah? It was one of the characters. It was one of the ones that was brought up first, where they were like, "No, it's not that."
I had to think for a second if that one got.
I think it was. I'm trying to remember.
Yes,
I think Doomguy and was it the Doomguy and Geno thing that went around?
That went around. Yeah, and the other one that was popular at the time was the Ryu Hayabusa one too. So
Ryu is another one I heard. So, do you think it's safe to say that it's probably actually not them? Like, do you reliably trust that they're actually not it? Do you trust the source on that?
I do. Yeah, I trust the source on that.
So which other characters? Because it feels like at the end it just became like such a huge mess that we couldn't really take much of what was being said for truth anymore. But like the first initial couple ones, it sounded like
the first initial. At the very least, I'll trust the initial ones, which I can look up pretty easy.
Okay.
Let's see here. So now we are getting to potentially spoilery stuff.
That's fair. It's not a spoiler for saying they're not in, and also we still don't know.
This could all be wrong, but like
pretty much every major league would trust the source,
these
though.
Sources, you know, about as much as when I was, you know, talking about, I'm pretty sure Incineroar is coming in. So once I can load it, if my thing's being stupid.
The fact that they've managed to hide who Character 5 is actually making me really happy.
Me too.
Like,
actually, most of the DLC characters have been a surprise, which has been cool.
The closest one to getting spoiled was Erdrick, honestly.
Maybe. Terry, I mean, he did get spoiled, sort of-ish.
True.
I mean, when they announced that there was an SNK character coming by accident, I mean, my immediate thought is Terry Bogard. And I think the only reason there was any argument of that, because people tried to link it to that old female fighting game character theory. And I think that's the only reason people thought of alternatives. Otherwise, if you saw SNK is coming to Smash, you'd immediately be like, oh, it's Terry Bogard. As long as you know what SNK is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so Terry and Hero were the only ones that really got leaked. The fact that Banjo-Kazooie managed to stay unspoiled, despite how rabid people were about him, is really something else.
Okay.
With that leak, the leak stated that the Kingdom Hearts Remind trailer would premiere at the Game Awards when it premiered at State of Play. Are you talking about, like, the female fighter leak?
He's talking about the one with...
Cosmos.
I think the initial one with Cosmos, yeah.
Okay, yeah. like I said, I wouldn't expect Cosmos to actually happen. It just, if it somehow is actually it'd make me really happy.
See, the thing that people have been arguing with there, Joe, is that they could still show more Kingdom Hearts stuff at Game Awards, even though they also showed it as State of Play. That's been the only thing people have said. Well, wait, this isn't dead yet. It's only mostly dead.
Mostly dead and all dead are very different things.
Okay, so I found the list of stuff.
How does he say it? Is it so there's a big difference between mostly dead and all dead? I think that's what they say. The Princess Bride quote. I'm trying to remember.
Okay, so just to, since we're going to go into potentially, possibly spoiler stuff, I'll just give the full spiel here. First, just to give credit where credit's due, a few people at Source Gaming, have compiled these lists for ease for people like me who haven't been able to keep up with it. This one is compiled by Cool 0210, who's a cool guy like a god. And basically, there's 3 people who have come out with things. The one that is probably the most prominent is Sabi, who's, got good connections to sources and stuff. And so these are probably the ones to trust the most, in my opinion. Sabi's deconfirmations have been Ryu Hayabusa, Crash Bandicoot, Doom Guy, Geno, Dante, any Tales of character, Sora, any character from Falcom or Nippon Ichi, and any character from Sony. Although I believe the Sony one was more... I can't remember if that was from a source or if that was just from opinion and speculation. It might have been a blend.
Heihachi's still on the table then?
Yes. In fact, although... I have to double check this. Although Vergaben has said that he doesn't believe that there's that Namco Bandai is on the table, Sabi has said that she thinks it still is. So there's
neither of them
of
have a confirmation.
there.
They're just
right, because I think Vergaben is starting to expand out to other sources that Sabi is not, and so that's kind of
interesting. So, okay. Answering Sonora's question, I do think the 5th character is also going to be third party. That has seemed to be the trend with this, is it's all new third party franchises with levels and spirits and music, and just also like giving little twists of like, we're putting this whole new franchise into the game basically, and like representing like different aspects of their franchise.
Just to be fair, we don't know, but that's what I would speculate.
I would have a hard time believing that the last one isn't going to follow that same trend.
And the only reason, that I would think that too, is simply because right from the get-go, with them offering Rex as a Mii costume, that seemed to be a pretty strong indication that they were not going to be considering newer Nintendo characters yet. I feel like that's something they might save for later DLC, and I have my own suspicions on that.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I feel the same way. I think it's entirely possible that we do get more first-party characters, but it won't be until after this pass.
That's what I think.
So who's left?
Okay, so that's. Do you want to hear the other potential deconfirmations? Okay. Next, this was kind of random. I believe Nazareth, who I think originally posted on Smashboards. Who, if I remember correctly, did a lot of leaks back in the day, like years ago, and then suddenly came out and said that there would not be anyone from Capcom, and apparently they also said that there wouldn't be anyone from Namco. So that's might be a little more reliable, actually, if Naz is now saying there's not going to be anyone from Namco.
Do you think it might be a whole new third party that we just haven't gotten a rep from yet?
That wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Because I feel like, even though some of them are subsidiaries or partnerships, I think all the new third-party characters we've gotten so far have come from totally new companies, right? Joker's from Atlas, which, yes, is a subsidiary of Sega, but they're very independent.
Everybody thinks of Atlas games as Atlas games, not Sega games.
Yeah, exactly. Hero, while, obviously that's a Square Enix character, you could make the argument that Cloud in Final Fantasy is, its home base is Squaresoft, while Dragon Quest and the Hero is Enix. So you could, use that to support this theory. Banjo-Kazooie obviously is Microsoft and Rare, and Terry Bogard is SNK. So if that is, another part of the theme being bringing in new companies, it could be something like that. Which is one of the reasons I've always been big on Ryu Hayabusa for Koei Tecmo, but that's not the case. The biggest company that comes to mind for me now, then, that hasn't been deconfirmed from those two lists would be Arc System Works.
Okay, interesting. I was thinking Atari, but like Atari's kind of dead.
Yeah, Atari doesn't have very many properties that they own anymore. A lot of their properties have been outsourced now. I was curious, so I looked up like what are the biggest properties that Atari still owns. I got Centipede and Paperboy.
Hell yeah! I think they still own
I'd be into
Asteroid.
Paperboy.
So let's see. So the Arc System Works, Guilty Gear.
Oh, Valve? Yeah, Valve's still on the table.
Oh, that'd be interesting. It would be interesting to get somebody who is primarily a PC developer. Because we haven't really had that. Because that's the whole thing with Valve is you think about PC as opposed to consoles.
Ubisoft. So Ubisoft's on the next list that I haven't talked about yet, but that one's a little more we don't know really. With Ubisoft, I think once again, with Rayman already being a spirit, that's indicative of him not becoming playable. That said, one thing I didn't realize until someone explained it to me about a month ago was just how popular Assassin's Creed as a franchise is. I mean, it's pretty popular in the US, but apparently, like, especially in Europe, it's like almost mainstreamly popular. So
I mean, it checks out. They do sell a lot. I feel like it's fallen off though, a bit, but it's still. It was a very.
It's historic now.
Literally. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I don't know. I do think like when you're looking at it, I feel like Ezio, which is probably who they would go with. I feel like he fits into Smash a lot less than like Rayman does. So it is a weird thing.
I'm very biased because I love Rayman, and he's probably my most wanted for Smash Brothers. But I do think Ezio still is a good choice.
He could work. I just feel like if they went with the Ubisoft route, I feel like they would have gone with Rayman as opposed to an Assassin's Creed character.
I would hope so.
But I don't know. Especially, I mean, Rayman's got the ties to Nintendo. He fits the aesthetic better.
Maybe they'll just break my entire line of thinking and add Rayman despite the fact that he's a spirit. I would be happy with that.
That'd be something else. What if they add the Teensy, the King Teensy, instead?
Over Rayman?
Yeah, they just add like a random ass Rayman character that isn't Rayman. Add Barbara.
I'll be a little more mad if they add a Rabid.
I'm looking through Arc System Works. It seems like Guilty Gear is the big thing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Blaze Blue, but probably Guilty Gear.
Yeah, it would definitely be Guilty Gear over Blaze Blue, in my opinion. But also, if you're looking at classic Arc System Works, you have Double Dragon and Kunio-kun.
I guess I just wonder, would that feel weird to get Double Dragon like right after Terry?
Well, on the other hand, Soul Bad Guy, a lot of his moveset is based on Terry Bogard. So either way, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it feels like they would be covering a lot of the same bases.
I mean, at least with Soul, though, you can have like things that are mechanically structured to be like Guilty Gear. So I think it's different enough. I'd be down for either a Double Dragon or Kunio character too. That'd be fun. Have a beat 'em up character.
Finally, a THQ character. Can we get Cartman? I'm looking at all the stuff, and they've got a lot of licensed games too. I don't know. It does feel like it would probably be Guilty Gear. I just don't know if. Oh shoot! They did Battletoads.
Rare did Battletoads, I think.
I'm seeing it on here. Games developed Battletoads.
I might be getting mixed up.
For the Sega Mega Drive Genesis. Was it developed by... Wait, so did they assist Rare with this game?
I'm guessing... That sounds like they either assisted it or helped record it. I'm not sure. That would make sense because they were the ones who were really into doing the beat 'em up format.
Oh no, they did the Sega ports. It looks like.
Okay, they did ports.
They did the Mega Drive and Game Gear ports of the game. Okay.
They did ports.
I was gonna say like that's. I didn't think they were Battletoads.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's rare.
They went with Banjo, despite not being a big Microsoft character like Minecraft or Halo. So I think Rayman still has the biggest chance from Yubi. Yeah, and I think it also just comes down to like it's a game of characters, and I feel like Rayman is a much bigger iconic character than Ezio. I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
I feel like I just feel like the actual characters of Assassin's Creed don't stand out that much compared to somebody like Rayman.
The gameplay.
Yeah. Didn't Guilty Gear's creator say he didn't want Guilty Gear characters in crossovers before the narrative was complete? Yeah, but if he can get that sweet, sweet Nintendo money.
Yeah, so see, there's a little back and forth there because, yes, he did say that once in an interview that was not related to Smash Brothers. And in a different interview related to Smash Brothers, they would say, "Oh yeah, if we ever got a character, we would want it to be Soul Bad Guy in Smash Brothers." So, I think if someone asks you, "Hey, do you want your character in Super Smash Brothers?" you're gonna say yes, no matter what your previous thoughts were.
It's going to be Division Agent number 24, and y'all are going to be surprised if they genuinely rep the Division. I will buy you whatever game you want. If it ends up being Tom Clancy's The Division, I will buy you whatever game you want. Like, that's not gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like looking through Arc System, there's nothing that like jumps out at me as like. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be somebody else.
Okay.
Level 5 gets brought up a lot.
So after the Sabi list and the Naz list, we also have, by far the biggest, the Vergaben list. Vergaben didn't really start saying anything, as far as I remember, until after Sabi kind of stopped. Sabi was like, okay, we've pestered this source enough, I'm not going to pester it anymore. And all of a sudden, Verg came out with all of these deconfirmations like I talked about. Some of them he backpedaled on, and some of them have stood. But either way, he's said a lot. Here is everything that Vergaben has said. No Bandai Namco, no Level 5, Ubisoft, Falcom, Nippon Ichi, Gordon Freeman, Doomslayer, Geno, Scorpion, Ryu Hayabusa, Arlie Naja, Sakura from Sakura Wars, Crash Bandicoot, Tracer, Reimu Haruke, Cat from Gravity Rush, Sora, Soul Bad Guy, Ragna, Billy and Jimmy from Double Dragon, Dante, Phoenix Wright, Amaterasu, Monster Hunter, Sam Porter Bridges, Geralt of Rivia, Monokuma, and Kratos.
Oh. So which of those did he walk back?
Those are the ones that still stand.
Those are the ones that he didn't walk back.
Yes.
So he basically deconfirmed everything that could come from Capcom.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know if I trust any of that. Because, yeah, what is left after that?
Well, let's see here.
Spyro?
Nintendo characters.
Reimu's still standing. It's gonna be Reimu.
Reimu was on the Vergaben list.
Oh, Reimu was on the Vergaben list? It's gonna be Elsa? If they genuinely... If it's just like... They do it to coincide with Frozen 2. Just because Japan loves Frozen that much. Japan really loves Frozen. Like, I know, like, America loved Frozen, but Japan really loves Frozen. I don't know why.
I never know how much my dad is joking or not. But one thing he once told me is, I think they added Rosalina to Smash 4 because Frozen was popular at the time, just like when in Brawl they added Rob because Wally was popular at the time.
No, neither of those things is true.
I said, pretty sure my dad's just joking, but it still makes me think. I'm like, God damn it, Dad, this stuff. Also,
cinematic parallels. Oh shit, the Joker's huge right now.
Joker's huge right now? Oh,
Joker's huge right now. They're gonna add Kefka. I do wonder if we go with a completely unrepresented franchise or a completely unrepresented company and ignore those lists for now, because there's very little else. They already literally added Joker. Oh god, that's true. Oh my god, they added Joker because Joker is gonna be big at the time.
I thought that's what you were going for at first.
No.
I know.
I didn't even think about that. God damn it. Who is left?
So
I can't count those lists right now because there's nobody left.
Okay, so you said first disregarding the Vergamen leak. Like I said,
Yeah.
if we were talking about big new companies, I like Arc System Works, and also, well, I thought they might at first. I was thinking they might do a thing like they did with Square Enix and like with Bandai Namco, be like, oh, Pac-Man's a Namco character. Now we're gonna add a Bandai character.
Agumon.
But exactly, that's what it would be.
Because Digimon is completely owned by Bandai, right?
Yes.
And technically, Digimon started as games.
It did. Right.
Yeah.
Some people will argue that it's like, well, it's not really a video game. It's like, well, that depends on what you define a video game as. I think if Game & Watch counts as a video game, I think Digimon counts.
If Rob counts as a video game, then Digimon. Then
I think
the
Digimon's
Digipets
definitely
count.
close enough. Yeah, I think it's close enough.
Yeah. It's interesting.
and I
Is Digimon
still-
like really big in Japan compared to here? Because it's not really huge here.
What, Digimon?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It had its time here.
I think you have to go there. I think you have to go with the historical impact angle. You know what I mean? As opposed to this is still a big thing.
I mean, Cyber Sleuth just came out, and it was like a pretty big game.
And of
Or pretty
course,
big
the
and
whole
people
thing.
really liked it. I don't know how many people actually bought it.
And like the big thing always too is that Digimon is basically just the fighting version of Tamagotchi, which was and is still a big thing.
You gotta stop clawing me. Every time I like move my arm, she like sticks her claws in me.
Stay.
She wants to, I don't know why she's decided that this is. So how big is created in 1997 as a series of virtual pets?
Digimon was 97?
97.
Wow,
I'm
that's
older than
earlier than I
Digimon
thought.
is. Wow.
Does that mean Digimon predated Pokemon?
That's a good question. I remember when I was a kid.
I thought Pokemon was 98, but that might have just been the US release.
Created in
It might-
1995, so it came 2 years after Pokemon.
Okay, 95.
I remember
Okay.
when I was a kid. When I was a kid, we genuinely thought that like Digimon versus Pokemon was like a really big thing. Like Digimon was ripping off Pokemon and trying to like.
Yeah, I remember
And it's
that.
funny because now that I'm older,
'Cause I
and
was
I
a
like,
kid too when you were a kid.
yeah, now that I'm older, I like look back at it. I'm like, that makes no sense. Like they're such
It
wildly
doesn't-
different things. They just both have Mon at the end of it.
Which is exactly why we attributed them to
Yeah,
each
but
other.
they're not going out. They're not catching Digimon. They've got their one Digimon.
No, yeah, it's a completely different concept.
If all these leaks are true, I have a feeling maybe Dovahkiin. Yeah, Bethesda didn't really get talked about,
That's
huh?
true. Yeah, no, that's something that a few people have brought up, and I think a lot of people discounted that way too fast because Doomguy was such a popular request at the time. But I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Skyrim, for better or worse, made a big impact as a game.
Yeah.
Even in Japan, it's pretty mainstream. So I think Dovahkiin is a very fair character choice.
I just don't think he's very exciting as a character, but
I
it
don't
depends
know,
on the
Dragon
it
Shout's
depends on
kinda
the angle
cool.
that you look at it from.
Yeah,
Like
you can do a lot.
Skyrim is really well known. Maybe that would bring people in. I don't know.
I don't know.
Personally, I feel like he'd be underwhelming just as a character because he's basically nothing. But it is what it is. Just put Todd Howard in Smash. Somebody has to have made a Todd Howard stage, right?
A Todd Howard stage, just with that same picture you used.
Bethesda just announced that the console versions of Doom 1 will have .wad support. Mark my words, the release of Doomguy will coincide with the Smash Bros. .wad.
What's
I'm
the
not
dot
enough of a
wad?
nerd to understand that joke. If it's a
Yeah,
joke.
me either. Sorry.
What's a .wad? Some kind of file type. Is that like an emulator thing? It's not an emulator thing.
Oh, Treasure gets revived and we get Marina Light Years. I would love that. We'd
What
be
was
like,
that
hey,
from?
we got Banjo-Kazooie, man. Let's get Marina Light Years next.
What's she from?
Mischief Makers.
Oh my god. I remember that game.
Yeah.
Dude.
It was kind of a I'll call it an N64 cult classic is what I'll call it.
Was Boktai Bandai? Who made Boktai?
Boktai was Konami.
Oh.
I'm pretty
so
sure.
Konami characters.
Actually, that's another thing. I don't think Konami was on that list. It'd be weird given that they already got Castlevania, but Contra is completely unaccounted for.
What is the format that Doom custom level packs come in? Oh, okay. Interesting. True, we could get more Konami characters. There are still more Konami characters.
Yep.
There absolutely are.
Yugimoto.
Silent Hill.
We're not going to add Resident Evil, but we're going to add Silent Hill.
Imagine Pyramid Head. Exactly. Like, Mai Shiranui is too adult for this game. However, here's a bubble nurse. Like, it's Krispy Kreme Club Wednesday. I'm live calling your show. This is Tony Lamont, YouTube superstar, and I've been bequeathed to your doorstep. Open that door and let the sunshine in. Where we call. This is one of the more interesting bots I've ever seen.
Streaming for chicks.
Streaming for chicks. This is a hell of a thing. Ha ha ha, I didn't see that little kid. Ha ha ha, just the big guy.
Oh, I guess you're the little kid.
This might not be a bot, but I'm very confused. You have to come to my channel? Nah, I think I'm alright. Do you know who's DLC number 5? Hey. Who's going into Smash? Hey you. Streaming for chicks. Who's character number 5? Are you still there? I think they hung up. Oh well.
I'm gonna check out Streaming for Chicks.
Yeah, I missed my opportunity to get some chicks. Apparently.
Hot webcam show. Webcam hotness.
So it's not a bot, but it's somebody who is still trying to do what bots do, just live. Oh my god. Yeah, no, this is a genuine channel.
Oh,
hang on.
Boy.
Hold the phone.
Well, we have shifted topics.
I respect the hustle. Yeah, I just got to check this out.
Apparently they just wanted the big guy, which I'm assuming is me.
Hell yeah. Yo, those chicks wanted you, man. Krispy Kreme
I'm
Club, we
married.
put the boom in boomer.
I can't fucking make up material like this.
Oh, this is something else.
You guys need to let me on and talk to both of you. I got questions.
How many
for
gals
both
do we
of
even
you.
have in here?
Bounce them off left
Well,
and
this
right.
is... That's an interesting situation. How many gals do we even have in here? I've got a cat on my lap that identifies as a woman, if that helps. We've got... I think we've only got one in here, actually. Unfortunately. I don't think Fortnite is confirmed yet. Hell yeah, Fortnite. Tony Lamont is Smash character number 5, and you're all too blind to see it. Holy shit! We had a chance to get the scoop! Isaac!
What?
That was Smash character number 5 right there. And we let them go.
Tony Lemon?
Tony Lamont. That was them. Getting back to business. What are we... Where were we?
So, well, we were saying that Konami still has some options.
Can you get your claws out of me, please? Right, we were talking about Konami.
Yeah, we said Konami still has some options. I brought up Contra.
You did bring up Contra. Contra probably is where... What else did they have in the arcade days? They had Contra. And Contra. Contra.
Yeah, Konami Arcade is
stop?
not my strong
This cat
suit.
is clawing me to... Jesus Christ, the amount of claw marks that I have on my arm right now. What? Hashtag Frogger game. Actually, yeah, Frogger. What if Frogger... there was somebody who I think actually had Frogger on their list at some point.
Oh yeah, Frogger is Konami, aren't they?
They are.
That's right.
Xi Jinping's Smash Character number 5. Let's see. Konami had a good amount of characters. It's weird to me to say that Capcom can't get another one. I guess, well, let's see. I guess, like, okay, so we've got Mega Man. And we've got... I guess it wouldn't make sense to get... I don't know. Like, do you think it would be a huge deal if we added, like, another Capcom character at this point?
Nah.
Like, as long as the character's iconic, right?
Right.
Because that's, like, the problem that I always have when I go to third party, is that it feels like almost all of the third-party characters that fit really well and are large are Capcom characters.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Capcom just owns a lot, enough to make their own crossover fighting games on their own.
Fair enough. This entire conversation would be more interesting if this was the actual last character instead of just the last one that they won't be able to charge individually for. There's no way this one will be the exciting one. This will absolutely be the exciting one. They're all going to be exciting. I don't think they're going to be ripping people off here. I'd be amazed if they did. So far, they've been doing really well with the past.
If it was the actual last character and just the last one, they won't be able to charge individually. Well, we're pretty sure at this point. It's been briefly brought up. We're pretty sure that they're going to do a full-blown second pass. We don't know that 100% certain, but we're pretty sure of that.
And not to mention that they also, like, they decided these characters a long time ago. Is another, like, huge thing. How should we buy into the decom list overall? I buy into the first couple for sure, I think. But then when it started getting hectic, I don't know.
I mean, yeah. When I was able to confirm Vergabin's sources in the past, I was like, oh yeah, but now I just don't even know where he's getting these things. And so, like, there's a part of me that wants to go, oh, okay, this is probably, if he's confident enough to post this, it's probably real. On the other hand, he kind of jumped the gun on a few confirmations that weren't on that list because he misinterpreted information that was sent to him, and that makes me skeptic.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just did a really good job of covering their tracks this time and put out, like, false stuff as well.
Maybe.
Because, like, this is the most hectic and random I think speculation has ever been.
Oh, yeah.
At this point. So I don't know if I put a lot of weight into it. I don't know. I feel like I give more credence to the first couple that Sabi said. But then I think once attention started getting brought to it, I think it's extremely possible that they would just start rejecting everything to cover themselves. Also, we can't take modern releases into consideration since the past was, at the very least, decided just over a year and a half ago. Yeah, that's true. Like, they've had that pass together for a while. So I'd be amazed.
Ironically, the one, like, newer thing, you know, if they do decide to go with Nintendo characters, that wouldn't surprise me. Not saying it's likely, just wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if they really did wind up going with a character from Fire Emblem Three Houses, purely because, I mean, they've planned ahead on Fire Emblem editions before. That's exactly what they did with Roy and Corrin. Those characters were so new, or not even out yet, when they were added into Smash Brothers. It wouldn't surprise me if they thought that far ahead with them.
I guess the thing with Roy, though, is that it was because he was an easy echo to make of Marth, and it was advertising thing.
You could have done any Fire Emblem character.
It was just because he was the character for the next game. That's basically it. Then with Corrin, who fucking knows? With Corrin, it was because Awakening was this huge success, and they were trying to cash in on the new game coming out, and
we'll see, and I can see them doing that again. I know people are like, oh, they won't do it because it, you know, had poor reception, and I'm like,
I don't think they'll do it for. I don't think they'll do it.
Not
for
really. It didn't really have poor reception. People still bought it, and the Corrin reveal trailer still has way more likes than dislikes. So
I just don't think that they'll do that for this pass. Like, this pass really does seem.
And that's the only thing that I'm like, yeah, maybe they wouldn't do that, is because the pass has seemed pretty patterned. I don't know.
I feel like it's so weird to discuss it at this point just because of all the information that's out. I still feel like getting a Namco character feels like it makes sense.
Yeah, I do too.
Like, but if we take these deconfirmations seriously, then it can't be any of them. You know?
Yeah, apparently Sabi is still of the impression that Namco is in, despite the fact that Naz has said it's out. So that's a pretty big conflict, as far as I can tell.
And if we're talking about Namco, like, Heihachi's costume still not being in is a really big deal.
We don't have Heihachi or Lloyd's costume, which still makes me think that it's like, oh hey, that's something that they could add later when they add a Namco character.
Yeah, to me that reads as one of them is going to be in, and the other one's costume is going to come along with them.
And the only one that Sabi has like completely discounted has been Tails characters. So I mean, Heihachi stands out to me, and of course you still have the prominent rumors about Cosmos as well. So
the only issue with Heihachi would just be that you'd be following up a fighting game character on a fighting game character, but I don't know that particularly matters.
It doesn't matter to me. I know some people are going to bitch about that, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm like, hey, look, now we have every super iconic fighting game character of all time. Good.
What if they do go with Soul Calibur instead?
What's that?
What if they do go with Soul Calibur instead?
I'd be happy with that. I would be surprised if they picked Soul Calibur over Tekken, but not disappointed. Purely because Soul Calibur is my favorite fighting game series besides Smash Bros.
That's the same reason that I'd be into Cosmos. Like, probably not likely, but I would love it.
Something you like. So
in my head though, the perfect reveal is like the lights go dark at a certain point, and this beautiful orchestral music starts up at TGA. You know, they got the orchestra playing, and like you see like a starry sky show up in a beam of light, and descending in the beam of light is a shadow, is like a silhouetted figure, and they land, and they throw back a cape, and a wooden hand comes out and turns into like a gun, and it pulls back and reveals Gino. That's like the perfect reveal for me.
What would you say if like that exact thing happened?
I am Gamatsu.
I am Gamatsu.
Somebody the other day said that Fighter 5 was actually from the second to latest list of characters. Vergamendi confirms, taking into account. Okay, if these leaks are to be believed, that leaves us with Bandai, Level 5, Ubisoft, Gordon Freeman, Scorpion, Reimu, Tracer, Sakura, and Reimu. I think Reimu might have a chance. Reimu is Touhou, right?
Yes.
That's what the whole thing's about? Is Touhou actually, like, really big? And I just don't know? I always thought it was, like, this niche kind of, like...
It's...
cult following situation.
You're right. It is. But it's kind of impressive just how long that's lasted. Because, gosh, when did Touhou start? I want to say around Super Nintendo days. And it's still around.
It's a big indie rep? Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against it. It's just amazing because like that's a series that has completely like I've managed to completely miss in my life outside of just hearing people talk about it a lot.
It's been around for a long time.
That's really it.
And it would have a great soundtrack, so that's neat.
There's so many games that have great soundtracks.
Yeah.
Let's see. Scorpion. I'm not expecting Mortal Kombat to happen.
Someone did say it's like, oh hey, you know, if they're worried about Scorpion, then they could do Sub-Zero. Despite that, I'm still not expecting it. Purely because
I just think it's
because which I thought someone was joking at first. I know it's true that like a lot of Mortal Kombat games, including the newest ones, are like banned in Japan. I'm like, oh, well, that's gonna make things weird.
Which is interesting considering some of the media that comes out of Japan.
Yeah, but I guess I guess the
Japan makes how many shows a year about a bunch of high schoolers like doing murders?
Yeah, but I guess the deal is they have an aversion, I guess you say, to excessive amounts of decapitation specifically.
I'm just thinking back to all the anime that I've seen that's had decapitation in it.
But usually when there's decapitation, they don't show it. Like the camera pans away.
Case Closed did it. School Days is infamous for it.
Well, maybe someone was just mouthing off and I didn't double check it.
I don't know. It's just they go to like a lot of like darker, like weirder shit than we do usually. So it's just funny for Mortal Kombat to be blocked off. I don't know. Who's to say? Gordon Freeman would honestly get a laugh out of me. Same. I'm not expecting him, but it would also be a hell of a reveal.
I'd be down for it.
And they could theoretically pair it with a Half-Life Alyx trailer or something.
So I actually, Joe, I hadn't heard that thing that you brought up, that Sabi said that it was one of the ones Vergaman deconfirmed. That's pretty cool.
He says the other day, so it must have been pretty recent.
Although, that would imply that Sabi knows who DLC Character 5 is, or their source just told them that. Either of those is interesting. Because that does narrow it down then quite a bit.
It's from a recent tweet. Okay.
Yeah, I've been offline since I think I guess it was only the 8th. I guess I've only been offline for 3 days.
I've been crazy busy too, so it's been harder to like keep an eye on this stuff.
Right, I'm a substitute teacher now, and these, like, I mean, all the teachers are sick, so I've been very busy.
Yeah, I've been actually getting a lot of editing work lately, which is good. And then also just starting up that D&D show is taking up a lot of time.
Right.
But it is what it is. I'm trying to think of like what else. It's funny, I feel like most of this stuff still stands. It feels like it should be Namco to me, but there's a lot of other things it could be. If we take all of Vergaman's deconfirmations at heart, then Dovahkiin really could be it. The character is one of the companies Verg backtracked on. Oh.
Okay.
So who did he backtrack on?
Well, I think that's what Joe was saying a few things above there, where he said Bandai, Level 5, Ubisoft, Gordon Freeman, Scorpion, Reimu, Tracer, or Sakura. Although I don't think that's everything that he backtracked on. There was other things. Like one of the things that he confirmed was, like, that he initially deconfirmed that he backtracked on was, like, a Nintendo character, an upgraded assist trophy, an upgraded spirit. So those would be on the table too.
I don't think they would do that for the last character of the past, though.
What company is Sakura from? I don't remember. It's something else.
Waluigi.
What? Waluigi. Yeah, no, they could. I would be surprised, but very much not disappointed.
What are the companies Verg backtracked on? I could honestly see, like, if they go with the Blizzard rep, Blizzard is a really big company. If they go with the Blizzard rep, Overwatch is what makes the most sense, and Tracer is the mascot of Overwatch. And she could work. Like, I've talked about potential movesets for her before, and you could absolutely make her work in the game.
Definitely.
You'd obviously have to change some things, but
I'm still not totally into Blizzard right now.
I don't blame you. This isn't like a what I want to see thing. This is just a...
No. Could it work? Totally.
What's there.
Yeah, before all that, I was more like, yeah, they could add Tracer. Why not?
Gordon Freeman would be fascinating. I wouldn't count him out. I don't know. What do you even say at this point?
Yeah. It really feels like it feels like both anything and nothing could happen. You know what I mean? Like, because on one hand, you're like, man, we've seen so much stuff and so much has been supposedly deconfirmed that, man, anything is going to be big. And on the other hand, you're like, but then also that means since so much has been there's deconfirmed, like, but who knows? I don't know. It's such a mess. It's such a mess.
It's going to be the Octolings. The whole controversy and the fact that Nintendo let people refund Overwatch Switch pre-orders when they don't usually do that. That's fair. Although, if this DLC was decided way ahead of time, I guess they could have changed course, but I doubt they would have.
I doubt they would have too.
That was fairly recent.
That would be a lot to backtrack on, so...
Yeah.
If they had already back then decided that they were going to add Tracer from Overwatch, then I think they're going to stick with that.
Yeah. What else? I guess ultimately, I don't know. There's a lot of characters I'd be happy with. I'd personally really like to see Namco. I would love to see Cosmos pop out. That would be amazing. I doubt it'll happen. I'd love to see Phoenix Wright or the Prince or one of the other like weirder Capcom characters. There's just a lot. There's a lot that could happen. Especially because there's so much conflicting information out there that just made everything harder. And when you're trying to think about like what's the perfect way to like cap off this pass, like what do you even say? What do you even do? We've had a modern JRPG character, we've had like the godfather of JRPG characters, we've had like a highly beloved but dead like Western franchise that people have been asking for a long time, and then we've had like
a big fighting game icon.
A big fighting game icon that like hasn't really gone outside of the fighting game community that much, but is like really iconic for the FGC. Like maybe a shooter is the way to go, because that is one of the only things that we haven't we haven't had like a shooter character.
Has any of these things said no more Microsoft characters? I'm on board with Master Chief and Smash. Let's do that.
I think there are way more interesting characters, but I also like think he's a possibility. So I don't know.
I can't think off the top of my head another shooter character that I would want more than Master Chief.
Duke Nukem.
Nah, I'd like Master Chief more.
He's not a character.
Yeah, but he's got cool weapons.
So does Duke Nukem. Honestly, I would like Doom Guy more than Master Chief.
I wouldn't. I like Master Chief a lot.
How?
I played so much Halo. He said that was always the thing.
That's fine, but he's no character.
The interesting thing was never John himself. The interesting thing was playing Halo. And if they encapsulate that in a playable Smash character, I'd be really happy with that.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't get it. I just don't think he's a character.
Yeah, I think Halo was definitely something that was very impactful and still going, even if
it is. Yeah, but also Halo wouldn't be there if Doom wasn't there first.
I mean, Cloud got in before the Dragon Quest hero.
Yeah, but Cloud is also like a really iconic like actual character, which Master Chief is, but Doom Guy still is.
I mean, Joker also got in before the Dragon Quest hero.
It's because Sakurai loves Persona.
maybe he's a big Halo fan and we don't know.
If that's the thing, he has oh God, what's the Halo guy? Fuck.
What's the Halo guy?
Yeah, the guy like behind it. Is it Major Nelson? Who's the Halo guy? Wow, my phone just blew up for some reason.
Yeah.
Who's the Halo guy?
The Halo guy.
Like the face of Halo, like who's the Toby Fox of Halo?
Right, and I don't know the answer to that actually.
Oh well, doesn't matter. But he just has him over and talks about it.
That's right. Now, if they added Banjo and then Master Chief in the same pass, I think the Steve fans are gonna be pissed.
Oh, it's true. It also could still be Minecraft, I guess.
It could still be Steve.
Come here, cat.
Yeah.
No, it's possible we get a shooter character just because we haven't gotten one. I don't know how much that matters, though. Somebody brought up, I think it was Joe, brought up maybe a modern fighting game or platformer since they did JRPGs. There's not a lot of modern platformers anymore is the real problem.
Ukulele.
Right after Banjo-Kazooie, too.
That'd be something.
That'd be weird. That'd be real weird. Hat Kid? Hat Kid would be an interesting... Yeah, that'd actually be a really interesting indie character.
Super Lucky.
Hat in Time was really good.
I haven't played it yet. I still want to.
It's very, very good. I need to play the DLC. It was really good. I'm not expecting it to happen, but as far as platformers go, there's just not a lot of platformers. They're like indie platformers. That's kind of it. Major companies don't make platformers that much anymore.
I mean, besides the ones that have always been platforms.
Besides like Mario, which unfortunately
Donkey Kong
already has a couple characters in Smash.
A few, yeah.
Yeah, just a handful. Modern fighting game. I guess you could say that with... Well, by modern, do you mean like a new fighting game that hasn't also gone back for a bunch of years? Because like most of the... There's like Dragon Ball Fighters, I guess.
The first one that comes to mind for me...
Like as a new fighting game that doesn't have like old roots?
Right, the first one that comes to mind to me is Skullgirls.
Skullgirls is pretty new, yeah. Lethal League. Let's go with Lethal League. Nobody knows about Lethal League.
Rivals of Aether. They're going to add a Rivals of Aether character.
No. Come on, man. Punch Time Explosion. There we go.
Dive Kick.
Add a PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Dive Kick could be pretty good, actually. A character... Oh, man. If they work a Dive Kick character in that can only That'd be so good. Jump Force.
All they can do is down aerial.
All they can do is down aerial. That's all they can do. All they can do is jump and down aerial. Hi Nampi. Hey Answers. How you doing? Hey Tango. How are you doing? Everybody's showing up now. Huh.
Is Lethal League the baseball?
Hey, Dead
one?
Vinny's here too. What's up?
Is Lethal League the baseball one?
Lethal League is the fighting game where instead of hitting each other directly, yeah, you're hitting a baseball around the arena.
Okay. I'm vaguely familiar with
it's
that.
It's a very good game. I'm very into it.
I just heard about it for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
I want people to... Oh, really? I've played it for years. I'm related. Dropness is here, too. This time I show up, too, then. Everybody's, like, showing up right now, and I don't know why.
Everyone
just finished finals?
Here.
Oh, congratulations. Maybe it's because school's getting out, yeah. On the West Coast, at least.
I mean, yeah. It's about school get-out time for me right now.
That's fair. How was school? I can go for a little bit more, but then I have to do our D&D stuff tonight. For those of you who don't know, I do a D&D stream every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time at natural_ones_ if you're into D&D, check that out. Yeah, we couldn't get natural ones just straight up for some reason, so we had to do the underscores. It is what it is.
It happens. I couldn't get Pizza Dude Man, so I added Guy.
I couldn't get Adustus, so I got Adustus Plays. There is nobody with Adustus. Is Travis deconfirmed? Travis is not... Nothing's been said about him, I don't think.
I thought someone did at one point, but I don't remember saying it on the list we just went over.
I will say, Travis Touchdown, I think, is one of those choices where he's big enough for people to know him, but small enough that nobody expects him, that I think he would actually be like a really cool... I think he would be like a really cool final reveal.
I think he'd be a great Smash character, and I think he'd be a good choice.
But it's another sword user.
Who cares?
The beam katana.
Too many people care about that.
Yeah.
I can't believe this person uses a fighting style.
Yeah. That doesn't define like what the character's going to be like at all. Soul Calibur has nothing but people with weapons and manages to differentiate all of them, so... How much faith are you guys putting in Sabi and Verge at this point? One over the other? I'm putting more faith in the initial Sabi stuff before it got crazy and people just started throwing out a bunch of stuff, and it was just like, all of gaming is deconfirmed.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that shakes up Verge for me the most is just the fact that he did publish that big deconfirmed list very recklessly, and so that makes me a little more wary of him just by nature. But on top of that, I feel like Sabi's info is a little more stable in terms of being able to track it. So I'm saying Sabi over Verge.
Nielsi Sorega as a character. Yeah, his final smash is just the 8th wonder. I guess it would be Ultimate Showdown, huh? Is what they would go with. We're finally getting an anime character. Guys, Sabi just deconfirmed a PBS. Alright, now you guys are just being assholes. Arthur and Clifford would have been great characters. Clifford's too big.
They could just shrink him.
He looks stupid.
I don't know, man. Clifford has no personality. He's just a monster.
Who are you putting your money on at this point? I still think, personally, if I was putting this list together, I think a Namco character makes the most sense, and Heihachi makes the most sense out of that for me. If I was going off of what feels like natural logic to me, but this whole pass has been pretty fucking random. So I don't know if I can really trust myself on that all that much.
You know what? I'll go with Cosmos.
I would love Cosmos, man. City51 a few weeks after the Joker reveal said no Travis in Smash, but that they will try very hard to get him in the next Smash game. Yeah, Travis is definitely a long shot, but I think he would be a hell of a reveal if they actually did it.
You know, Grant Kirkhope said there was no chance Banjo would be in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, he's also not in Rare anymore.
But as he turned out, as he revealed, no, he knew all along because he was composing the music, and he just lied about it because NDA.
That's another thing. People can always just lie.
Yeah.
Klonoa? Maybe. Klonoa would be cool. I think the problem is that Klonoa... I think Namco has bigger icons.
I'd be very surprised if they picked Klonoa. To me, he's just so far down the priority list of what defines Namco.
Can Nintendo lie and there really is no Character 5? Character 5 was the friends we made along the way.
That's right.
Cosmos before Xenoblade 2 would be interesting, but I wouldn't hate it. Cosmos is interesting because it's a pretty niche character. Like the Xeno series was always pretty small, comparatively. Well, I mean, it was big for JRPGs. I'm just used to JRPGs. Have always been small, outside of like Final Fantasy. Like,
yeah, that was like always like the one that broke out.
and even then, like, that's why you don't see people make take turn RPGs anymore, because like they always say they always just say that like JRPGs as a whole are just niche. And then I don't know. I feel like Xenosaga and Xenogears weren't particularly big, even. I mean, to the point where like you don't. I feel like you don't hear people talk about them anymore, at least.
But Chris, what about the biggest JRPG franchise of all time? Pokemon.
It's not. It's the gacha stuff that makes that game huge.
Yeah.
It's the gacha stuff that makes that game big.
It's definitely not the mechanics.
Hopes for Breath of the Wild 2. I'm expecting there to be a trailer for it at TGA. I'm not going to be upset if it isn't there, but like, I really want to see it.
What about gameplay? What about gameplay and story element hopes?
What would I want out of Breath of the Wild 2?
Yeah.
Gameplay hopes. I would love for it to be a game with 2 different gameplay loops where you play as both Zelda and Link, doing different things. I would love for Zelda to be above ground and Link to be below ground. If they're doing like an excavation thing, I would love to see. And also gameplay wise, I would love for it to be the process of rebuilding Hyrule. I always love elements of games where you're building up a base or a society or something. Like doing Colony 6 in Xenoblade was fantastic. Building Mother Base in Metal Gear Solid 5 was fun. I really like the concept of kind of building up a community, and Breath of the Wild 2 feels like a chance to do that, like on a mass scale. Kind of like, you know, you had Terrytown in the first Breath of the Wild, and that was one of my favorite parts of the game. Building Terrytown was like fantastic. I absolutely love that, and I would love to see more stuff like that, because this country has been demolished for a long time, and they're gonna have to rebuild. You know. Besides
Link and Zelda, I also want to see the
new champions.
I want to what?
The champions?
Not the champions, but like I felt like the original Breath of the Wild like established 4 characters to be like the successors of the champions, and then they didn't actually do anything with that. So I want to see Breath of the Wild 2 do that, like bring back Prince Sidon, and he kind of officially becomes the next Zora champion, and then you have like that young Gerudo princess or queen, I guess. And then you have that that white bird, and you have Daruk's, what was it, his son or a grandson?
Yeah. There's a lot you could do. Like, I mean, they have to be trained to be champions is the thing. Like,
yeah, exactly. I want that to be a part of it, is having them fully emerge as the new champions.
Yeah, I would love for that to be the case. Like, Zelda's rebuilding above ground and Link is underground, because that's what seemed like it was being teased to me, is that there's shit underground because they found Ganondorf's body, basically.
Oh, I also want to see a bigger role for Paya.
Yes, that'd be cool too. I don't know. I would love for it to be like kind of 2 games in 1. I'm curious to see what you could do with underground environments. I'm worried it would get too cramped if the whole thing was underground, but they could also be like they've done things like with Wind Waker when you go to Old Hyrule, like stuff like that. You could put all kinds of environments underground. You really could, and I'm curious to see like what they can do with it if that's the direction that they're going.
Nampi and Macdo, do you guys know? Can you guys remind me if Sora has been confirmed by anybody, or if he was only on the Verge list?
He was on the Verge list. I remember that for sure.
If he wasn't on anyone else's list, then yeah, I would say Sora has a good shot.
Sora's technically a Disney character. I think he's up there as well. I don't know. Y'all know how I feel about Sora at this point.
Oh yeah, I forgot actually.
I just think he's not that much of a gaming icon. I think he's a character in a series that gets boosted by having other icons in it, but I don't feel like he's a particularly iconic character in comparison. Is Minecraft Steve deconfirmed?
Not as far as
Possibly.
I know.
I don't know. All right, we should start wrapping this up.
Okay.
What other stuff is there to cover? Like, I feel like we're both pretty set on it being a third party.
That would be my guess.
Yeah. I feel like Namco makes a lot of sense, but I could see it also not being Namco. I would love for it to be a big surprise. If they do pull out Gino or Travis Touchdown or some other, like, character that has, like, people who are like, oh, this is such a cool character, where, like, the character aspect of it is really fun, but they're not necessarily from, like, a huge series. I would love that. Somebody nice and unique. Smash Cart. They revealed just a karting mode, or a party mode.
The
They've been following
isn't
leakers.
the character at all.
The leakers have been all over the place, which has been partially why it feels like this episode has been really kind of random and all over the place. But it's just like there's only one character, and narrowing it down through this mess that's been going on is ridiculous.
It is.
Take Pat over Gino?
Yeah.
Who's Pat? Who's Pat?
When I was in middle school, Pat was the guy who ran the, like, you know, discipline program. You have to go and clean up garbage outside the school with Pat.
They had a discipline program?
I don't remember what they called it. It was called, like, making better choices or detention or what.
What did you have to do to get there?
Well, for me, I had to talk while the vice principal was giving a speech during the cafeteria lunchtime.
That was it?
That was it. Pat was really strict.
We really do live in the police state. Do you guys think Joe is likely? Which Joe?
Yeah,
Joe?
Beautiful Joe or Karate Joe?
Beautiful Joe? Karate Joe?
Knuckle
Glass
Joe?
I imagine it has to be third party.
So
So probably Beautiful Joe? That's a reference to Philly cheesesteaks. I don't get it. It wasn't a good joke. Joe Mama. God damn it. Beautiful Joe would be awesome. Actually, okay, on that note, genuinely, I would love Amaterasu or Beautiful Joe or just a Platinum character. They have a lot of really interesting characters that would have really cool fighting styles.
How do you feel about Cooking Mama?
She's pretty cute.
I see.
I'd like her to bake me a cake.
That sounds delicious.
German chocolate.
German Shepherd.
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 Commander Shepard hasn't been ruled out yet. Maybe
Commander
we're gonna
Shepard
add
has not
Commander
been ruled
Shepard.
out. It's true.
Okay, Mass Effect is one of my favorite video game series of all times.
Same, honestly.
I would freak out if they added Commander Shepard to Smash. I'd be like, what?
I feel like I would rather they add one of the characters, though, like Garrus or Tali.
I mean, if I got to pick, I'd want to play as Rex. I don't think that's going to happen.
Rex would be great.
Rex is my favorite.
I just feel like if you add Shepard, you're just getting a lot of people going like, that's not my Shepard. Just the level of customization and like what abilities you give him. I guess you would give him or her all the abilities.
Just do the villager thing where like all their alternate costumes are different faces.
Is 2B owned by Square or Platinum? It's Square. Platinum helped with the Platinum helped with the development, but Yoko Taro makes games for Square. Because like that the Nier series isn't a Platinum series. Automata is the only one that they helped with. I need to play Astral Chain so bad. What's up?
Commander Shepard would be pretty cool moveset wise too, because you have the biotics.
Thoughts on Mihat Leak? Is that the one with the Keiko Demon, and is that the one that Tango's talking about?
I think that one, which I'm pretty sure that one got like deconfirmed by Sabi directly, so I wouldn't put faith in that.
What is this music? It's fire. The song that's playing right now is Cherry Blossom Color Season from the Katamari Damacy soundtrack.
Oh, really?
That entire soundtrack I have on my streaming playlist. It's just such a good soundtrack.
That's awesome.
Cherry Blossom Color Season. Kiryu from Yakuza has been rolled out. I would love it.
Too.
I'm not expecting it. If somebody
That would
from
be awesome.
if somebody from Yakuza or Shenmue got in, I would be absolutely giddy. Those are some of my favorite franchises that I've gotten into very recently.
I'm pretty sure with Kiryu, you have the whole thing where the series hasn't been on Nintendo at all. I don't think there's ever been a Yakuza game on the Nintendo platform.
It hasn't. But I mean,
you can take the angle of like, oh, it was in Project Cross Zone and this and that, but I still think that that's kind of important, just for the series to have some kind of relationship with Nintendo.
I'm absolutely not expecting them to be there, like, at all. I just would love to have it, because they're both brawlers.
It would be awesome. It would be really awesome. I mean, you know my types of characters. Those are the types I love. It's just like, this is just a guy who's brawling in.
Do we have a brawler?
We
have like martial artists, but like, do we have a brawler?
Well, see, I was gonna say that's one of the things that actually makes me really excited about the idea of having some of the more alternative Arc System Works characters. Like if they actually added Kunio from the River City games, I'd be super down with that.
We have everyone from Brawl. God damn it, Zenora. Nope, you don't second that. That doesn't deserve to be seconded. Yeah. I don't think there's anybody just like with a fighting style that like. Because the cool thing about Kiryu is there's like 4 different fighting styles that like he uses in Yakuza 0, like alone.
Right.
Yeah. And I guess apparently in the earlier games, I haven't played the whole series yet. I want to. They're long games. He has like one fighting style in some of them, but like they expanded.
Which is
in
like,
0.
which has like the elements of those 4 kind of like intermeshed.
Yeah. So he has like brawler. He has grappler. He has thug, I think is the other one. Thug or something like that. But yeah, that'd be really, really cool. Or I think Majima has thug actually. It doesn't matter. The point is, yeah, it'd be somebody who's like, like a fist fighter who isn't using like martial arts or boxing or anything, but is just
like
brawling.
just a literal like either Street Fighter or bar brawler type. I think those would be fun.
He has such cool throws. He has such cool throws.
Even though we have Ryu, he doesn't actually fight like a Street Fighter. Like that was always the joke in the fighting game community. The big joke with Street Fighter is that the only Street Fighter character that's actually a Street Fighter is Cody. None of the other characters are actually Street Fighters.
That's fair. Yeah, they're all using like martial arts.
Yeah.
Why is it called Street Fighter? I guess they're fighting in the streets, but like
they're fighting in the streets of places. Almost all the stages. Well, no, only a few stages are streets.
That makes no sense. There's no reason for it to be called Street Fighter at all.
Well,
that actually upsets me now.
It was kind of like a beat 'em up. I think he went down streets. And so
I guess.
I mean, it's stylized a little differently. Anyway.
Oh well.
Mike Hager. That'd be cool. That's Capcom.
Let's end this.
Although, honestly, if they added a Final Fight character, I would want it to be Cody.
Since speculation is screwed up, and it's honestly going to be easier to speculate the next DLC after this character comes out than it is to guess who this character is at this point. Why don't we say just our top 3 characters we'd like to see most take this last spot, and top 3 ones that we think are the most likely.
When you're talking about top 3 most wanted, I mean, the sky's kind of the limit there.
While still keeping it like realistically to like who we think is actually feasible. So like no first party, no like.
Okay. Yeah. So you're saying that's what I'm saying. Can I use first party? Can I use assist trophy upgrades? Can I use spirit upgrades?
Out of the people who seem feasible, use spirit upgrades. I would say not assist trophy.
There's no spirit upgrades only, no first party. Okay.
No first party, no assist trophies. Spirit upgrades allowed, but mostly third party.
Okay.
Yeah. If I was going off of third parties that we don't have yet, I would count Gino. I would want to see Gino, and he's always going to be up there for me. Other most wanted. I honestly, even though I've played very little of the series, I would actually really, really like to see Dante. I think it'd be an incredibly interesting fighting style. And I just like Platinum games. And I think I would actually give him the edge over 2B just because I really like... Nier Automata is one of my favorite games of all time. But, like, I think the sheer variety in Dante's fighting style and getting to do things like juggling and all that, I think would be really, really cool. And then third most wanted... Honestly... Oh, actually, no. I won't say Phoenix. I might actually want Phoenix Wright more than Dante, actually. I would love that. I'm gonna go with. Oh no, this is hard.
Yes.
I keep second guessing myself now.
Right,
I'll
'cause
go.
there's a lot of options.
Whew. I'll go with the Prince from Katamari.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
My top 3 most wanted under those conditions would be Rayman. I mean, for me, he's just like the last video game character I kind of grew up with as a kid, and so he stands out to me as a big hero we don't have yet. Ryu Hayabusa. For me, that's the next big, like, classic thing to add, right? We got Mega Man, we got Castlevania, and next is Ryu Hayabusa, Ninja Gaiden. After that, I would be totally satisfied with, like, retro stuff. Because, like, yes, there's still, like, Contra and Double Dragon and other things, but Ryu Hayabusa for me is just a cut above those. And for third, Phoenix Wright, just because that's a series that's so near and dear to me.
Yeah.
And so tied to Nintendo.
Phoenix Wright is how we became friends.
It is. It's one of the things.
One of the things.
The
other one was Elite Beat Agents.
There was an Elite Beat Agents. There was a little bit of Fire Emblem, which I think I tried out a couple maps and it was like,
not for me.
Not for me. Not until
the big thing I remember is
came
us
out.
taking like a 4-hour bus ride and we just played Phoenix Wright in the back the whole time.
Yeah.
We were doing a show, and whenever you were backstage and I was on stage, you would just be playing Phoenix Wright on my DS backstage.
And I don't remember
other men.
She was seeing other men. Yeah, sorry, I can't do it. You can do it.
Yeah, you remember that.
If I remember correctly, I think I played Trials and Tribulations first.
You did. That's the game I was on.
Yeah.
And what you would do is you started playing and you just wouldn't save, so you wouldn't overwrite like what I was doing.
Right.
So yeah, you just like started that there, and you liked it. So I let you borrow the other games, and you played those, and then we were playing Trials and Tribulations on the bus to like Thespian Conference.
And what happened was because I had done the first couple cases in like Trials and Tribulations first, I already knew like the answers to some of the cases in Justice for All. Like, yeah. I was like, I know that you're the villain because that's what they said in the other game.
I just vividly remember us being in the back of that bus and everybody else having to listen to us as we played the case where Phoenix is sick. And they talk about him taking Cold Killer X. And you and I just making a bunch of, oh, it's Cold Killer X! And us just like making a bunch of Cold Killer X jokes like the entire bus ride.
That's
and
right.
they just had to deal with it.
Because that was the kind of high schoolers we were.
Awful. Absolutely terrible.
I was always, I know you'll understand the feeling. I was always so worried through high school and probably most of my life that I was really, really annoying to people with my random tidbits of video game knowledge that I would want to talk about nothing else about.
Thank God we're both extremely more confident now.
Yes, and also we found each other. So
yes, we found each other. Cold Killer X
and
be
now,
the best game.
And now I can use YouTube. Now I can like talk about random Nintendo shit all I want.
Well, that's why we started doing it.
Yeah, and now it's like, hey, anyone who wants to listen can watch these videos now. I don't have to just tell all my friends and family all the time.
That really was the case, though. We would just have like long conversations, just doing nothing but just like saying like, oh, this was a thing that existed in this game.
Do you remember on our trip to Scotland where we spent most of the time going over the intricacies and plot of Mother 3?
Yes, and I forgot all of it, and I'm glad I did.
Right, because then you got to play it blind.
Yeah, because I remember you describing it to me, I was just like, this makes no fucking sense. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I was... God, yeah. I also remembered our D&D campaign that we did. That had no dice and no paper and no character sheets or anything.
Oh no, I just did it all by
we would guess a number and it'd have to be close to the number that you
exactly.
picked.
the harder that the task you wanted to do was, the bigger the stretch. Like an easy task would be like pick a number from 1 to 10, where like a hard one would be like pick a number from 1 to 100.
Wayne was,
and then if you were,
the most iconic one was Wayne looking for a torch.
that would have I messed up some of my improvisation skills there.
Yeah. So Wayne was looking for a torch, and I think he was way off the number.
He was way off. So like, my line of thinking. Let me start with my line of thinking before I give the quote. My line of thinking was, he's so far off the number, he's gonna find something completely different from a torch that's not related to what he was looking for whatsoever. And then my immediate thought afterwards was, wait, it still needs to be related to fire somehow so that it's on topic. Otherwise, it won't make any sense. But see, those trains of thought came to mind while I was talking. So what came out of my mouth was, you don't find a torch, instead you find a mouse who's kind of on fire. I can't even say it with a straight face.
It was so good, and the delivery was perfect. It was just like, okay, just find a mouse who's kind of on fire.
You find a mouse that's kind of on fire.
Yeah. And it was just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
How is it kind of on fire? Like a section of it's on fire?
You did the weirdest shit when you DM. Remember the pillar?
Oh, the pillar's an old joke. I use that in every campaign.
Use it in every campaign? So basically, there was this room in a dungeon that we came into, and it was just like
in every campaign.
Yeah, and there was nothing else in this room except for a pillar. And so we were like, there's got to be something to this pillar. So we're trying to like solve this puzzle about it. And we're walking around, we're like prodding it and poking it, and he's just like, I'm gonna hit the pillar with my sword. And then,
oh, you want me to?
Yeah, you go ahead and just do it. Yeah.
So here's what the pillar. Yeah. So okay, so the pillar hits you with its sword.
I look at the pillar.
The pillar looks at you.
I touch the pillar.
The pillar touches you.
I hug the pillar.
The pillar hugs you.
And so it just went like that. We spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out what we were supposed to do to this pillar before we just gave up and moved on. And he told us the answer was nothing.
Yeah, no, you're just supposed to leave that room.
Yeah, there's nothing to that pillar. There's no reason to do anything to it.
It's just a pillar that does whatever you do.
That's it. That's the entire thing. Your DMing is the weirdest shit.
That one was based on, I mean, I took it to the extreme. But that was based on a trap that TJ had once, and so I was borrowing it.
I did one Pathfinder session with TJ.
How was it?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we had to fight a gelatinous
He does
cube.
weird shit like that, but it's usually pretty fun. It's a little more. I went all the way with him.
it was a pretty short dungeon. I remember we fought a gelatinous cube. I don't remember a lot of details about it, but yeah, it was fun. TJ's a weird guy. He's a fun guy.
I saw TJ recently because we did a alumni marching band thing, and he was there. I think there was only 3 of us there.
So the pillar is character 5.
There we go. That's cool. What the pillar does is he just uses any attack that someone else uses on him. If Mario does forward smash on him, he does Mario's forward smash back.
It only has counters. It's just a Wobbuffet.
There we go.
It's just a Wobbuffet, but you control it, and it can't move. It's so good, man. I'm trying to like remember more stuff from that campaign now. I'm trying to remember like who my character even was. Like what?
So that whole format of like picking numbers instead of rolling dice, it was a format that we made up. Me and some of the other guys, like during band practice and stuff when we were waiting. Other people liked it, so they kind of ran their own similarly styled campaigns. I remember one of my favorite things that happened there was I wound up with a magical ring that allowed me to summon a glass of beer every time I say poof beer.
I remember that.
And so what happened was we were fighting a dragon, and the dragon ate my arm with the ring on it. And using the excuse that in D&D 3.5 rules that talking is a free action, I rapidly said over and over again, poof beer, poof beer, poof beer, poof beer. and it activated, and it just got the dragon super drunk because I kept spawning beers inside of him. And that's how we beat it.
God damn it.
But I lost my arm. I had to get a cool, like, steampunk robotic one.
Oh no, that must have been awful for you. God damn it.
We were very loose with rules. I don't even know if you can call it D&D.
Oh, we were extremely loose. I mean, it's homebrew, I guess.
D&D is whatever you make of it.
it was a way to kill time while we were traveling and stuff in Scotland. Like, it's just
Actually, we're trying to coordinate it now. I might be joining a campaign run by Amy Waters.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
She's probably a really fun DM, actually.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope we can make it work out.
I hope it's entirely music themed.
You know, I mean, we're trying to find a schedule for it because we all have lives.
You know, she's gonna make an entire soundtrack to her campaign and just play it like.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. That'd be cool.
Well, she did the music for Pretend Friends, which is a tabletop stream that's pretty funny. It's a podcast, not a stream, I guess. I didn't do it live. Oh. It's a game that one of my friends Kevin made called Space Kings, where instead of rolling dice and stuff, it's like a very simplified rule set, and basically instead of rolling dice, your successes and failures are determined by just flipping over cards off of a deck of cards. It gets really interesting and really weird really fast. But yeah, she did all the music for that.
Cool.
Yeah. We went off on a huge tangent. The point is,
we didn't even go over our top 3 most likely, which
top 3 most likely. Let's get back to that.
I don't even, because like, okay, once again we have to establish rules, likely based on the deconfirmations we know, and which ones are we counting, or just based on our own what we think. I don't know.
Based off of this, based off of the information that we have here, who do we think is the most likely?
Oh,
top 3.
Boy.
However you feel about these deconfirmations.
Okay. Am I starting this time?
I still think Heihachi's pretty likely.
Okay.
Yeah, I still think Heihachi's likely. I think Sora is likely. If they worked with Microsoft for Banjo-Kazooie, it's entirely reasonable they could do that, and there seems to be enough demand. I don't have to understand it, but I can acknowledge it.
Yeah.
If Doomguy is really out of the running, possibly Dovahkiin.
Yeah. Mine's gonna be really similar. Mine's gonna be like Heihachi, Sora, and Cosmos. So
very similar, yeah. Except for Cosmos. I would love Cosmos. It'd be a great surprise. What's up?
Yeah. It's so hard to tell.
I feel it. I feel the Cosmos. Have y'all gotten to play Sword and Shield yet? You have, right? Yeah, you streamed it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I streamed through Sword, and Rosie finished Shield recently. So no, I've experienced quite a bit of Sword and Shield. Thoughts on it? I like it. I think it's... So, I think any controversies about it come from 2 things. One is just purely what you're looking for. When I play a new Pokemon game, I look for fun new Pokemon and a fun adventure, and I think every Pokemon game has delivered on that, and I think this one is no exception. Fun new elements is also nice too. Actually, I really like the cooking element that they have in the game. It's really nice for the routes. I actually really like the way that they do level ratings. It seems like every area you go to, everything is matching your level, assuming you're not grinding. But I think they build the game in a way where you don't have to grind. And I love the wild area. That is the coolest idea, and I hope that in future Pokemon games, they'll do a much bigger wild area, or like just have that be the norm. As you're traveling from place to place, you go through this really open area, because I think that was a really cool way to do a lot of things. The problem is if you don't agree with that. The problem is if you believe the problem is that if you believe Pokemon is about catching all the Pokemon. Because if that's the case, you're going to be immediately disappointed because you can't do that. The basic of the game's not catering to what you believe the game should be about. Now, anyone who knows me, know that's not a problem for me, because I tend to look at games as individual things rather than the series, even if they have trends of the series. I love Star Fox Adventures, and I feel like the biggest complaint is that it's not a railway shooter like previous Star Fox games. I love Super Mario Sunshine. I love Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Once again, with all those games, the biggest criticisms are that they're not like their predecessors in some fashion. That doesn't bother me. I think as a standalone game, Pokemon Sword and Shield stand as really fun entries. But if the thing you really care about is being able to collect all the Pokemon, it's not going to interest you. That's just how that is. The other thing people will argue, that the second thing, is that because there's less Pokemon in this game than previous entries, it's not worth the $60 price tag compared to previous Pokemon games that were about a $40 price tag. Ultimately, I disagree, just because the amount of content in the game is still more than other games to me. Like, it took me a longer time to beat Pokemon Sword and be satisfied with everything I did with it than Luigi's Mansion 3. And I paid the same price for both of them. So to me, the value is still about the same overall. Once again, it's if you're comparing it to previous Pokemon games. And even then, you know, people will nitpick at the graphical issues of Sword and Shield. To be fair, it's still graphically the best Pokemon games. Like, people are expecting them to jump from, like, Sun and Moon to, like, Breath of the Wild levels of graphical interface, rather than taking the next logical step for Pokemon, which I think they do. So, that's my spiel.
I haven't played it yet. I've been debating whether I want to or not. There are things about it that seem exciting to me, but I also just haven't been into Pokemon for a long time.
What was the last one you did? 5th gen?
I played X and Y.
4th gen?
I
you did
played
6th.
X and Y.
Okay. I couldn't remember if you did X and Y or not.
And then I have
All right.
either Black 2 or White 2, but I haven't played it. But
Those
that
ones
was
are
before
actually my
X and Y.
favorite still. I like Black 2 and White 2 a lot.
I don't know. Like, I kind of liked 4th gen, and then 5th gen was...
It's funny, actually. I had a hard time getting into Black and White, but then I loved Black 2 and White 2. I'm still not sure why.
Maybe I'll try it at some point. When I think about, like, all the other games I want to play, like, it's really hard for me to justify playing Pokemon at this point.
There's so many
but
games.
I don't know. There are things about this. There are things about this one that have made me curious to try it. Like, I've also been debating getting Let's Go Pokemon, Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee.
I tried those ones and I didn't like them, but you know, that's split anyway.
It just seemed like something that would be really nice to put on and play with a friend or a roommate.
That's
has
the cool
been the
parts
main
to
thing.
go up.
I looked at it and it was just like,
Yeah.
I think this would be a nice, cozy way to like have like some gaming and hangout time with some of my friends who aren't that into games.
It's like playing a Yoshi game or a Kirby game.
Yeah. And I don't know, and it looks cute and everything, and I do still have some nostalgia for that, so like maybe I will. But I'm definitely prioritizing some other games before I get the Pokemon games. Like, I still haven't gotten Astral Chain, still haven't gotten Luigi's Mansion, still haven't gotten Daemon X Machina, which I'm also really excited about. I love mech games, and they come along very rarely.
Are you playing some NES music? Nice.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Sweet.
Right now I
you
moved on
were.
to the Nier Automata music. Yeah, Mariachi Entertainment System, by the way, the last 2 songs that played were from Mariachi Entertainment System. That's a great channel to check out. It's just Mariachi
I love
covers
those
of video
guys.
games, and so
I think I saw
very
them when
good.
they were starting. I think I saw the first video I saw of theirs was like the
Also,
second.
Tango wants to know favorite new Pokemon. From what I've seen,
Surfetch'd.
mine is the octopus with little boxing gloves. I saw it on his
That
stream,
one is
and I
so
thought that was
cool.
I just thought
Clobbopus?
I thought it was cute looking.
I love Clobberpuss. My favorite is Surfetch'd.
Surfish is pretty funny.
The only problem with Clobberpuss is you don't get him until like the end, so that sucks. I want him for the whole game.
I just thought it was a cute concept. Just like an octopus with little boxing gloves. He's just like, hey, put him up. That's adorable. I don't really like the designs for the most part. And like honestly, with Clobberpuss, I don't like his design in the same way that I like a lot of the older Pokemon designs. But he's fucking adorable. In the same way that like I like the Wooloos, I guess. The Wooloos are just cute. And actually, I do like the Wooloo design in the way that I like the older Pokemon designs, actually. And then I look at it and I feel like, yeah, this could be like an actual like creature that's actually alive in this world. Like this could be an actual animal. But I don't know. Just the way I felt. But I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. And I might not. Maybe I will.
I think it also does, out of all the Pokemon games, I think style-wise, yeah, I'll put it that way, I think it does music the best. I think the town themes are all really interesting. The battle themes are kind of generally what I'd expect out of Pokemon, but what I like is that, for one thing, you have 3 rivals, and each of them has their own theme song, and then two of them have an alternative theme song that plays for special events in the game. So it is just a great musical explosion there. And then Toby Fox has a song in there. So you got a great variety.
Yeah, the music I've heard has all been really good. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll play it at some point. So far, the second-gen remakes are like the high point of the series for me. That and Coliseum.
Yeah, a lot of people would agree. Usually the big ones that get brought up are Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Black 2, White 2. And I still tend to agree those are my top 2.
But, yeah, who knows? What else is... Is there anything else to cover?
You also still haven't played Three Houses.
I haven't. I need to get that at some point, too.
I am currently completing my 6th run of.
Jesus Christ, dude. I don't understand. I mean, I don't... Yeah.
Okay.
There's just so many games I want to play.
There's four paths in the game. So that was 4 times. And then I did another one because I needed footage for the Byleth video. And then I did another one right now because there was a new DLC character. So.
Actual last question. Will you guys consider playing Smash with viewers sometime? I'd like to. I'd like to stream more often.
That would be so fun.
I need to get my things in order, honestly. I'd like to do Smash with people. We should do that while I'm home for Christmas. Just do a day where we do Smash. I know we're going to be doing Final Fantasy IX.
Oh man, look. Zenora's on their 2nd, and Mactakong's on their 3rd.
Although I didn't get a day 1. Fair.
I got a day 1.
I mean, look, the amount of time that Isaac puts into Fire Emblem games is asinine. So
okay.
don't compare yourself to him.
In Fire Emblem Awakening, I have over 2,900 hours logged. In Fire Emblem Fates, I have over 3,300 hours logged.
I think he's genuinely spent more hours than there are in a year playing Fire Emblem at this point.
Yes, that's correct. I think.
There are 8,760 hours in a year.
So okay.
So those 2 games put you at 6,200. So if you break 2,500 hours on 3 houses,
I don't know if I will. I'm at 3 houses right now. I'm at a little over 400 hours.
Jesus Christ! You've already put 400 hours into that?
Yes.
Just think about all the other games you could have played in that time.
Yeah, but I could have played Fire Emblem, and I did.
So yeah, there's just so many games I want to play. But I've put 700 hours into Final Fantasy 14, so I don't know. But it's an MMO, it's what it does, but still. I could have played so many other games in that time.
But I don't play any MMOs, so it's kind of the trade-off.
You could be playing 14.
I could. Everyone wants me to, and I have it, as well as, like, 3 months free, and I haven't done anything with it.
Yeah. Oh well. If you ever do, join Goblin, and we'll wreck shop. I think it might be time to wrap up.
Okay.
Did we got our lists out? I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens at the TGA. I'll probably stream watching it. I don't know. I might be working tomorrow night.
I'm planning on stream watching it. If you're able to, then we could do it together. But if not, I'll definitely be doing it.
What time is it?
5:30 my time, so 8:30 your time.
Okay. I actually might be back from the office by then.
Okay.
So we'll see. It's been a very busy month. We'll do something for it for sure. But either way, yeah. I gotta get this. I gotta get this exported to the channel because I gotta start our D&D stream in an hour.
That's right.
On the other channel. This whole day has just been streaming. All right. Cool. Well, thank you guys for checking it out. I'm excited to see. Remember, no matter what ends up happening, video games are good. Video games are fun, and I'm just excited to see what they're going to surprise me with. I don't feel confident that I'm anywhere close to what's actually going to be happening.
I don't think I can be disappointed.
Yeah, same. They would have to like announce that they've canceled the rest of the DLC for me to be disappointed, I think.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like I don't care. Just having new characters is always nice. They always do such like a ridiculously good job adding them in.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited to see whoever it is.
I'm excited. Anyway, thank you guys for coming out. Isaac, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for inviting.
Yeah, of course. It's the only reason I enjoy doing this anymore. And once Smash Talk is over, we'll need to just do like our actual monthly podcast thing and just talk for an hour and a half about D&D and the weird stuff that we did in high school.
That's right.
Non-stop, because we always wind up just doing that anyway.
Yeah, it happens every stream.
Every stream is just turned into us as like talking about our past. All right, you guys have a good night, and we'll probably see you tomorrow for the TGAs.
I sure hope so.
The TGAs.
The TGAs.
For TGA, it's the Game Awards. It wouldn't be the TGAs. It would be. I guess it could.
The Game Awards.
The GAs. The Game Award Awards.
R.I.P. in peace.
I heard somebody call it the TGA Awards, and I was like, oh god.
The Game Awards.
The Game Award Awards. Well, it's like when they would do like roast beef sandwich with au jus sauce. When they'd had that like on the menu in high school. Do you know what au jus means?
No, I don't.
Au jus means with juice in French. So they're saying.
Oh.
So what they're saying is it's a roast beef sandwich with sauce. When they would write that on the menu, that's what they were saying.
So what would
it would literally just be a roast beef sandwich, au jus.
Yeah,
that's it.
Right.
Like that's it.
I think that's what you'd normally see on like a restaurant menu.
Yeah, if you go to an actual French restaurant, it's just au jus. That's all it is. They're like, it's not
Chris,
with au jus sauce.
They can't expect high schoolers to go to restaurants.
These dumb fucking kids, they've never been to a French place in their lives. We're gonna get away with all sorts of improper grammars on this menu.
All sorts of improper grammars.
It's all sorts of improper grammars. They could have no idea we're messing around with the French language.
Improper grammars and improper grandpas.
Improper grammars, improper grandpas. Boy. God damn it. We're idiots. Alright. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for coming out.
Improper grammars. That's a good name for a D&D party.
The improper grammars? And it's all just old characters?
Yeah, exactly.
It's all just old raunchy, like, it's all just old raunchy characters.
Yeah, or it could be superheroes, anything. But, like, that's the idea of the group.
Oh, man. God, that'd be so good. Yeah, I'd be into it. We got to do that. We got to do that. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for coming out.
Bye.